Hello, I'm back up. It is April 2nd, 2026, and it's about 12:15 p.m. And I'm back up. It's been a relatively quiet morning. They're over there chirping away. I can hear them chirping away. This morning I woke up. Of course, I slept here, like, slept here, like this. I and actually sleep like this. Your body just shuts off. You don't wear for enough hours of sleep because they are touching my body with that thing. And then it turned it back on this morning, so I had to get up. This was on. It's on. It's not really cool when I was doing stuff. Talk. Of course, this morning started with trash compactor wars. Which is, if you can hear Mr. George of Death, with his tools over there, and Neville's chirping away to itself. It's been doing that all morning. Also about how trolls are a different species, so are their troll friends, and it's really stupid to let predators this bad. There might be some truth in what they were chirping about this morning. I'm sure everybody could hear them. According to this, somebody went in and tried to change the audio a little so it's not actually so audible. And because apparently, according to herpes over here, who apparently have normal people around that try to report them and they just can't get them arrested also. But the word is on the street that there were more and more normal people. The limit and other bad guy. I mean, you'd have to be a very, very bad man and very handicapped. Apparently, this person is interested in what he has, and then he has it, and so he doesn't feel that it's really like it's how he is, how he was made. So he continues in this behavior. If we're dealing with interacting with sort of like a Andalusian wasp-stoppers are different. If there's a group of Neanderthals out there, due actually to their disease or defect, they're different. They're technically a little more flora and fauna than you, quite a bit more, and they're large males. So there's a lot of problems with not engaging in behaviors such as marauding, stealing, just grabbing stuff. And they're very inclined, and actually you were rather stupid. It was the story this morning to allow something that was to hijack America this way. And the story this morning is more in the High Castle where it was in fact just hijacked. The incredible horror of it all. Apparently, attacking me this badly on Nellis airspace ate them. It ate them. It ate them, and police computer was this morning. Which does make Tarwell the leader of the free world. So I slightly enjoy this story, but I'm not sure on some level. I mean, just a level of like, emotion factor. We'll see how this plays out. Okay, so he attacked me that badly. It probably looked like it was actually kind of probably entertaining. I mean, I don't know where for them, which I didn't want to be the entertainment, probably looked like the shake your huggy becky gourd while I'm shaking the huggy becky gourd at these stalkers, which is relatively familiar since we do actually have a problem with stalkers out of this group with higher authority. Apparently, when something with the bad behavior of these men comes in and says, "Give me that," they know. No, is actually correct and make sure that you can't bring this into communities and let it run loose with this nonsense. It is actually, or of course, it's absolute nonsense. Yeah. And that is, in fact, just somebody with antisocial personality disorder that is just stealing, taking things, manipulating, and so on. And we do have a problem. I think you need to catch this group that is doing my crimes here because because I believe that this group in law enforcement, um, this group in law enforcement um, is a group that it does not have is out there manipulating. Really, yeah. The problem is the internal structure of there is no higher authority to this, which makes no sense. Um, Group, and the group is going to be a specific branch. Apparently, it's coming from law enforcement, security, maintenance personnel. Gets out into different branches of law enforcement, uh, or there's different people in law enforcement. That there's the fact that there's not higher authority. Um, you're not on is absolute nonsense. I mean, you're just looking at the weather map. Yeah, it's a big country. It's big country everywhere. Somebody's saying something about what was it? He sends the one that looks the healthiest, but it acted like terrible, really. And it didn't. You can tell these men that are behind this are going to be when you can see them in the halls of the infrastructure. They're going to be if you can pin them down. Uh, this is very criminal stuff. There's going to be a lot of weird looking dudes. Like there's going to be people um, that really look strange, googly, that have deformities, things like that. That really do look like Smee in corrections. Why is it Smee from like? I mean, he's kind of a bristle pig or something weird. They're going to look like they have Asperger's. They're going to look like different people than you. But they're not going to look correct. They're going to look like a certain group of people that you have not seen. Like, um, I'm not sure. French fleet we landed, and there's a lot of French sailors in Singapore. They look similar because they are in fact the French uh, naval boat. Whatever's on a French naval boat is in fact right around your town, uh, and around New York City right now. So they're going to look like a specific group that is not your group, and they're going to be doing specific company things, which I think is interesting in relation to organized crime. So they put somebody out that physically has a better appearance. Often this person is actually, and then they're told to do, and then they cherry pick people in human resources. These guys are appear to be human resources monsters for antisocial personality disorder cycles. He's correct. It's me from Captain Hook. Yeah, from Peter Pan. Um, um, so why would that be running around places? It comes from corrections downtown. You need to check on what Newbern Street. There's a lot of different state services, but you need to check on what Newbern Street, which is just a street out back of the like downtown area, it has is getting into. You need to check on that like universally and what it's getting into with friends. Um, that's correct. It appears to be quite schizophrenic. I have met more schizoid affectives for sure in all of this than have any business in. Well, it's just for some reason in application, we have all this where you can see somebody actually had a proper department, or is there is such a thing. There's a field of something here. There's a field of infrastructure, specific. There is a medical field of disease or defect, and psychological, social, physical, biological reasons for just all the behaviors that come in, and then there's criminal justice. There's a criminal psychology as to those that are technically breaking the laws of the land, which is all that's supposed to be going on. The fact that we don't appear to have like a police air traffic control to keep, I'm not things above a level in certain areas. You need to catch the group that is doing the neighborhood pornography here. You need to catch the guys doing it here, and then figure out where they come from and where else they've come out of, and where they're running around. The fact that those engaging in the neighborhood pornography behavior, which hypothesis, and I'm absolutely positive, is actually widespread, being an attractive woman. I think it's widespread. For some reason these guys were tripping away. But like if something you're going in for your spa, here's the hot stone spa, and you're a pretty blonde lady, you're going to go get your nails done, and you feel kind of stalked on yourself. But yeah, and so you go in for your spa therapy, something. I had a terrible time, I went to the dentist. Yeah. Neville thought it was interesting to attack you sexually. Try to. The thing is, a full body scanner. So if you feel extremely goosed while you're like, and then sexually assaulted or something as you were going out for your spa treatment day, which I've heard from women in different areas. The problem is these in progress, some kind of tech that law enforcement apps have access to is quite capable of generating, of touching your body electronically. And at some point, someone figured this out, that you can create something equivalent like vibrating massage and TENS therapy on some kind of technology that professionals, I believe it's going to be, unfortunately, the professionals are in fact going to be in some kind of the ability, the actual device that it does enable someone to touch via satellite, cell phone, is going to in fact be on law enforcement app sites. So you only would have access to it if you were in fact somebody that had access to such things, which would actually be people more like private detectives might know about it, cable people that work for the town or city, wealthy people. If you were in a place like somebody like Epstein, would definitely, since they have their own private security, and no, so people that are professionals would also have access to this sort of stuff. Wealthier or more connected people, companies might know about it and have stuff to do it. Companies that have their own security, military might have access to it. And so, unfortunately, it does seem that a group has, or for some reason, one thing looks like another. But he goes to at the dentist office. He goes to this man all the time. Unfortunately, it has a body cavity search. It also has a body scanner. I'm absolutely positive. And they will just stick it on you. And it can also, and it's the fact that I got the most googly men in all of Texas. It's just a big state. That is the craziest man in all of Texas because we're in the West. They're always kind of like this, though. I think really, yeah, that might be something in the Penguins even or something around here is what Neville was saying. Since those are the men he somehow contacted, he says men locally. There were men locally. There was a little bit of action. It might just been a cat. Could have been that CBD vape, which I like I said I bought them once before. But tea, I've chewed on tea. But wine at 2 o'clock in the morning. As you can see, it was very active at 2 a.m. in the morning as you're starting to fall asleep. Oh, you're starting to fall asleep. It's been a little better about just physically assaulting the body all day. Yes, or your mom's just waving an aerosol can because she probably was about your age at like the cable guy from Jim Carrey and the cable guy. Which was a little like watching Matthew Broderick. I really am. You have some sort, mom and dad, both of them. The poor yuppies. No, they know. Again, my poor mother keeps going in for like, since they turned on the in progress police grounder, you can't do that with the LA police chopper. No, it's just that very much is a thing. Branches of organized crime, of course, might not be very nice. And there's actually a lot of different things that it's relatively to organized crime. Like something might be calling itself I don't know. We've all seen like Quentin Tarantino movies, but you know how like, oh, so they're having the Yakuza boss meetup? Yeah. And they have different things they're doing. The Joker goes to those too. The guys in The Crow seem to be doing the same thing, you know. But that's correct. Like actually the Crips are in fact doing snatch and grab robberies. Like these guys do no work really. So somebody's calling down because now they got together in jewelry stores or something. So they got together in their Yakuza boss meeting. They are organized crime. tell the kids that you're not actually, they could be not really cops and robbers seems like, but actually, or sometimes rap stars have slight affiliations, but no, it's actually a gang. So stay away from that, children, please. And they do actually, it's a criminal. It's a gang. So okay, it's not the Black Panthers. That side might be a little, I don't know, or something. But anyway, so there's the gang task force. During the mafia because you saw it in a movie. But so they're calling about because they decided to do that. And, oh no, there's no way we could do that. So that's like quite organized crime. Fat Tony sat around. All right, what are we doing for Sopranos? Pirate things we're getting into. There's a pirate flag. We do actually in this Fat Tony's office restaurant. It's kind of slow diving. Nothing in here. It's probably still good. Okay. That's correct. They probably own the pub, the Cheerful Pizzeria. Somebody they know does. Slightly. I mean, I'm not sure. But here's where they're actually getting into their mafia stuff. So, but one group of like white power people might not have any. Somebody's running around calling them a white power, like a neo-Nazi gang or something, which is very much a gang. There's just going to be lots of different chapters of that. I don't know if they have meetups for that and how that works. You need to check. These guys are criminals. They know they're criminals. Armenian, like thuggy, really. Tony Edos, what are you talking? The fascist sickles up in New York or something. They're googlies. Oh, they're like, there are, how big is Turkey? I have to look again. It's like, is it Italy? I'm kind of, yeah, so is Kiss, my brother's ex-girlfriend and his family. But Turkey's like, how big is Turkey compared to Italy? It's like twice the size. It's big. It's foreign. But they get hung for it. At least I need to go look at my geography. It's a big, and then no, it's kind of civilized. It's been there forever, but it's just bigger. So you might have more like, and it's foreign. It sounded like I said that really. Yeah, they said something off the boat. Really, yeah, no, it's almost foreign on that side in their story. Really, is that? Are they new? No, but it's almost like Cobra Gypsy or something. But like thuggy Cobra Gypsy. But that's thuggy's almost like a made up story. They think like a guild of like killers. Yeah. But like in Slumdog or something, that might also be a gang thing, really. I never did anything really because there's lots of Armenians. Share. I'm just getting something slightly foreign. I'm not getting Turkish from that. I'm not getting Armenian from that whole, as opposed to like, as opposed to Italian. Almost, I got it from that story right away. That could be back in the day, but. It sounds like Indian Slumdog guys that'll kill you. They hang you for it. Really, yeah. It's almost just a bad like story. It could be like a selling point, like for PR. Almost. They're very sort of dominant and aggressive. Did you call Turkish people to kill me? I'm not sure. Someone might kill you for money. I said Mulholland Drive on this. Yeah, and Albert Fish. Whoever's been chirping away and like stalking me for all these years. Okay, so it can touch me now. I turned it in. It's absolutely horrible. Can you imagine being stalked by Neville and the Beast? They can mirror your internet, and they do. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to leave, but the license plate cost, the registration costs $400. Driving could actually be just kind of fun. Who knew when to drive through Louisiana or something and make a vacation out of it? But not with the short on funds a bit. And I'm endorsing things, and I cleaned up the house, and I'm going to segment private things, of course, as we do in our normal lives, and don't. Looks like I need some magic eraser for the Adobe here. Behind me, but I'm going to do that tomorrow because fingerprints on the Adobe niche over here. It's funny. There's the one where I like move the television. Actually, what I was trying to do is this. we moving the TV for the birds. Yeah, me and the cats drinking tea. Moving furniture for the cats. No, actually, what I was trying to do is this, which is this. Oh, you're trying to move your desk so you can see the television. Yeah, because the desk used to face that way. It's kind of like duh. Okay. I moved everything so I won't trip over wires. Really, yeah. If this is going to be like a all night thing, that was what time was it? It's so bad when they turn on the like. I think he's using a car staller. I swear under oath, go check and find it yourself. It's also very important. Um, well, if somebody brought a culture that was like an anthropology in a little more. Um, we've just seen them on television. It's Thuggy was like they think made up as a magical, but not necessarily. Really, yeah. It's, you can't let people that are things in because if they break the law at all. You're going to need more bank managers in law enforcement. You're going to need more because they can't break the law. Private sector, the monetary Fed should have arrived a long time ago in this case. There's a zero tolerance for any sort of monetary corruption and crime, money related, like identity theft, things like that. And the things that are more like humanities are not going to be any different. Um, you're going to need people that really aren't allowed to steal from the company. They're not allowed to steal from Elks. They're not allowed to steal from the bank. You're going to need just ordinary. They're not allowed to steal from Walmart. You're going to need everything like, no, deep. But it's just the facts. You're going to need completely verified, non-offending employees. The greater can enfranchise to that. They always have been. They're not that bad. You can tell they're not that bad. Really. Yeah. Does anything ever happen with these guys? No. Why does it happen over here? And what's the difference in quality control? And then that's just the guy having the cycle issues right now and acting up. No, and then you look and the guy is specifically breaking the laws in the book and it has to be stopped from breaking the laws. And then once the interaction's over, they don't. That's the end of it. You're not allowed to do those things. If the person is a problem, they are in fact breaking the law in some way. Right? Pretty much everything that is a problem, and then problem is the problem. Well, I don't think turkey is comparatively. $302,000 square miles. But anyway. I know it's about the same. Okay. I thought turkey was bigger. I think they're just telling you that, really. Yeah, you need to go find the like. Well, I'm an idiot. Well, and that's why that's come up. I don't want to sound like an ignoramus. I'm normal smart, really. I'm a normal person for my people, the people that live in McGregor as far as education and intelligence and things like that. It's really fine. I think it must be a handicap band. Those might be Italians. I don't know what they are. They're behaving too roughly and carrying on too much. Like there's too much screaming and shouting and running. There's no scream and shout and run. There's like specific things. There's no noise in the night. do that there, do that there, puff up at that there. So Andalusian wildstoppers are what? Different species, and not that great with our species. Yeah, they're actually a totally different species lately. As red Germans. And this lady eating. How much low fat Greek yogurt did you eat? Okay, well, the revelation of your life. Your mouth is celery. That the Sprouts commercial. Okay, that's a fun sermon. Do it. Okay. I didn't have anybody, and the guy, they were so bad. Really. They're just like so incredibly bad. It was so in progress. I mean, it still is. Uh, Somebody that might made a business out of murder. There's something some dog might have, turkey might, Mexico. That's why I stuck Sanctuary up in case. I don't hear about kidnappings and things like that. In South America in there. You get hung for it. I mean, not. You can see, like watching Appalachia, how feral people colonies might come up, because there's plenty of deer in West Virginia. There's lots of deer. The land is actually quite good, but it's not for. It ends up being like not necessarily for like hunting and gathering and stuff. Not necessarily for living in a city or a farm, even some, because it's too mountainous. So mountain regions are pretty good for feral people colonies, which this very problematic group discussed here. Or probably that was probably Otis Toll's like father, a guy like himself. There is something going on with like serious Warren Jeff group in the area. I know that. That's a very evil schizophrenic man. You need to figure out what they are, who these men are that have been stalking. Is very much correct. You need to pin them down. They're unbelievable. They were very loud day one. Really, yeah, they're busy, schizophrenic, happy serial killer. They're not happy, but it's like it. It turns out to be a predatory spider. That's why there's kind of morality in it. It's just, or he's so cheerful about it. It's just, it is basically just chasing yum-yums, I think. And it does. This is gonna be the troll war story. Since they landed day one, they're just being acquisitive and marauding or something. They've done the same thing out of their offices, and they're googlies. They're schizophrenic dudes. They were schizophrenic dudes day one. So the security guard neighborhood pornographing that you refer to multiple times as you get off the boat as summer you turn 9. Going into whatever's on my passport, really, as a small child, you remember your parents because you'd left your house empty for 4 years, and like 4.5 years, your house in New York, in North Salem, New York, which is a very nice, very has a lot of as it's upstate Westchester, in between like Ridgefield, Connecticut. Normal commute route to like Armonk and White Plains, where the IBM complex was, which is how we ended up living there. My parents did, but our house had been. But I mean, there's big mansions and millionaire mansions and things like that, and then there's just stuff. But you need to make sure that the all the things running around with law enforcement aren't You have to go into everything and inspect it is actually a greatest concern here. If you think about it, you're going to always have to inspect. I'm sure they do, but like um, public public property, um, you're going to have to, like, if there's a jail, you have to go in and inspect the jail always. You have to make sure they're always following protocol. You have to always inspect. That's supposed to be the case. Any cases you have in, like in my case, apparently it immediately squawked as to like, well, why are you holding this person? You have to report it to, you put in the database right away, and then you put in the database for capital city, and then be in the Wake County Prosecutor's Office anymore. That's crazy. If you broke the law, you can't be. Um, um, I don't want to sound like an ignoramus. Also, I think I hit my head at some point in this. I was electrocuted. Um, they who's the leader of the free world in Australia? Alec. That's good. Something like her. He accidentally deputized Alex. Good in it. How'd it turn out? My computer got all the way to Australia. Yeah, stalking these guys. Ours is Oakland Lane's cut. So, guys in Detroit Wars maneuvers. I think Alex was being stalked too. Okay, she kills stuff with Qualberry. Also thought Superman was funny. It's very, very serious there because she's also being stalked by it with her family. It's hard to find people who, in this story, has something to do with like Grandpa because he was a master sergeant, a lieutenant colonel in Malice Engineering. My friend from high school. It'd be nicer. Okay. Um, well, that's good. We're turning back to Wells Fargo. She probably works at a bank with Miss Kathy. You're not allowed to do anything illegal. That's why you're not supposed to be in this stuff. Whatever you've got, you can't be in this in things. You have to have a warrant. Warrantless wiretaps are going to be for just ordinary. It's practically like being watched walking down the street, on a security camera. Which it like at Belk Security when you work as or at a bank, do you notice the security guard? No. Did you notice the one that got fired for doing something weird? I did. I did notice that one. It was like he was very there and he was very cute. Come out and he started literally pinch, and then he would tell something like a whole story that was extremely unsophisticated, scary, and googly, or just something really strange. But yeah, which you were sort of like okay, but so he seemed like he'd steal stuff. But somebody else mentioned him. He needed to calm down. I think they told him to, and he wouldn't, so he got laid off. And then it was everything's just normal. So, um, um, but like it's to check out people for weapons in public places, to check the guitar case for guns, that kind of thing. Um, there was definitely in New York security personnel officers of some sort. I believe it was security guards. One definitely got shot. He was in the middle of the woods a little bit too. I mean, he must have been 2 miles, 3 miles back in the middle of the night, probably out back of wealthy estates in just messing around or something. He was up ways, a very $1 million homes, things like that. Just doing something. Somebody shot him and he didn't make it back, and he coyotes ate his guts. For me, it was Wolves of Willoughby Chase, which we heard about from the neighbors after we moved. It was cool. Not far long after. And I mean, we would literally, like I said, very active. How are they here? 2 a.m. in the morning. Uh, I think I just can't mess up. Or no, the EBGBs are different if you think somebody's hearing a noise like it's actually in the house. Like, I think there might have been just like a cat somewhere near the house because there was a house and my ears are peeled. There's no way in the house. The house is actually locked down like Fort Knox. And if I've been out all day, um, the crawl space upstairs makes me a little anxious. Otherwise, my house isn't very big. This is a story about home invasion that they're already waiting in the house. They have access to skeleton keys, which you can actually, like when your locksmith comes, when you lock yourself out. Um, they apparently break in, and in their story, they break in, put new wiring in. I mean, the guy just might be keeping himself entertained. His entertainment is to just unfortunately, it's just a litany of sadism. Um, I'm glad there was a Willie Chase got him. A true story. There was a man. He worked for the town security and maintenance. So my parents assumed it was somehow him on the cable box because the house had been empty. I think this was almost a white. It was just happening, like out of icky stuff that, and you need to then verify for icky stuff in communities, very very much so. Um, and that's all there is to it. Um, you would verify for because you're doing mirroring personal accounts, and you are very much that. If law enforcement has that ability, they're not you, but you have to get a warrant. It's going to be a perfect enough world. I mean, there's not. It is true. Like your whoever does your finances, and your financing, yes. For your bank knows your personal information. You knows how much money you have in your bank account. Various people it can do. Um, it's not like there's somebody sitting above you that's like, ha ha ha. Let me go through everybody's bank accounts. Yeah, it does not see, and then follows you home on this kind of stuff and starts stalking you. There's not a very bad Dr. Evil of that. Like, uh, what Lenny was looking for, money hidden in your sock drawer, which I said my parents weren't paying that much attention. I remember like a opal we sold for $10,000 almost on Smith Southpiece. Yeah, that we got from somebody in Australia because it was definitely not that much. It was a big, big old hunkin' black opal. It was like this much. I was so mad when they sold it because my dad used to wrap it up and hide it in like a bathrobe in the den, really. And I'd find it in there and then like I'd play with it. I mean, I was real careful with it, but like the Barbies, it was like, I have no idea. We were basically doing that Beatles. The Beatles with the giant ruby. Help. It's help, right? It's silly. Yeah. I knew not to drop it. My mom would get mad at me. It was mine, really. Yeah, it was, the curse of the black opal. But they sold it. I was real mad. Um, but he was just there. I mean, there might have been other stuff like that. Um, they might have just been hanging out. They did something weird, the same as this. I'm not sure why. Apparently, they really stalk. Really, like they just kind of something was going on with because the house had been empty and had been empty for 4.5 years. So they are different. You need to watch out for like police notice, just sort of a acquisitiveness, um, different behaviors that people have developed. Like I or like breaking into a car downtown. Think of a frat boy or somebody the frat boys knew was acting like googly and marauding. And look, they could bring into a car. There could be a laptop back there. Yeah, well, kind of, and we'll actually do stuff to you if you're a girl, probably, or try to, or something. Um, but I mean, who would do such a thing? And that might be a frat boy just showing off and being dumb. And from a grown up perspective, well, that's not going to get you this. You're going to get married Uncle Bernie's Audi. Really works in the bank downtown. The real people that live downtown, that's their Audi. And like, they're going to come out in the morning, same as when you were like 12 years old and your mom heard about it on the phone. Oh no, Aunt Mary, Uncle Bernie's car got broken into. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Somebody stole the radio. Squawk, 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 squawk. The back, and the police are on the phone, da, 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 da. So you're going to get caught right away. There's nothing going on in this. Well, apparently you're not in the part of town where the hobos have stopped, or the people in the hood that live in the lower income neighborhoods that get into crime and stuff, actually have do that more, and don't, because they don't get in trouble. There's probably a camera right there too. My how's your Aunt Mary and Uncle Bernie? If it's like a nice Audi and you're just wherever frat kids play, went around playing. Yeah, well, but I mean, is this a guy that you think that? No, no, that kid's definitely a scrub. It's an icky scrub and he's dangerous. Ew, and stupid. No, of course. But as another kid, it's nice and stuff. Um, he's a scrub. Huh, anyway, but there are places where this is actually a thing. Really, yeah. There's even organized crime where there's like googly monkeys that run around in Maroon. Really, yeah. Which that guy sounds like. There's crackheads that maroon around looking for stuff to steal, hang off the ceiling. That maybe actually make some. There is money in certain vice things, stealing, um, drugs, prostitution. There's money generation, abuse of others, bullying. Um, yeah, that's correct. Bullying, like Nelson from The Simpsons, bullying, really. uh, wasn't that? I meant Nelson might. You want a word for fat Tonys? No, you probably shouldn't, but I mean, I'm not sure. Well, fat Tony's not that bad. Nelson would actually be good at that, really. He's about above a level. And yelled at it forever. You might need a guy for that a little bit. Might somewhere else you could go to work, but that's why there's like a movies where it's like he's not supposed to develop. They'll send him to AA supposedly. You need a bad nun, and then if we know Nelson, they've known him all their life. Yeah, you need a good nun, bad nun. I'll keep him above a level. It's like officer and gentleman. Really, Krabappel raised him okay. Takes one to know one. He's in there. He can think okay. He's going to school every day too. Um, but that's why one guy's on one side of the accused and the other is on the like cop side. Yeah. Fat Tonys or something. But no, that's why Fat Tonys can't work at the electronics store. They're pirates steal things. Then they say and they lie about it and they get Nelson to do it or something. That's not that branch of that. That's the guy that actually does stuff or whatever. I have no idea. I have no idea but probably what is organized crime really? Yeah, they're having their. Oh, I don't know. Like there's too many people. We're stealing things off the back of the shipping container. Nelson, no, we're not. Yeah, just get out of here, man. Okay, really, don't let them do that. What are you doing? And then why are they like screaming and running and running and screaming? You can't. There's no running and screaming, and you're too old to run and scream. And who are you again? To me, you seem like marauders that steal radios out of cars or stereo systems out of cars and things like that, and then run off into the night. Yeah, electronics out of cars, thousands radios. Yeah. Okay. But Turkey Valley just seems bigger because it's foreign. Probably. Yeah. It's pretty mountainous and everything else. I do know in Turkey there are like that's actually a thing. It's not supposed to be, but there just is like they hang you for it. Run like crackheads. Oh, or those people will mug you. Apparently they'll kill you and mug you and disappear off into the night and expect to. They're not popular. Weird. Something weird. They get hung. There's almost kind of no such thing, the same as like kidnappers in Mexico or something, or South America, or thuggy. It's kind of a made up story, but somebody might have made it up to sell something back in the day out of organized crime. I recognize the concept as something more foreign, almost really, yeah, on that side of what you're talking about. Are you sure? Yeah. Oh, the mafia gets in too much trouble because they're Americans, but they do stuff. So They do in other countries that hang you for it. It's like a, I don't know where somebody developed the anthropology back in the day. It's not something. These guys are extremely. I mean, it sounds like a crazy man talking to himself, but he does have a lot of accomplices. I mean, so there's like a developed anthropology of going on, like a social culture, because you call every office and they're all, yep, jurisdiction. There's no such thing as jurisdiction legally. I mean, I don't know where this could be like a company anthropology that's developed. It's been a very long time since the 60s, since Jim Crow's end, which, I mean, it still didn't apply. There's no such thing as jurisdiction here. No, I'm positive. It would have been bull shit. It wouldn't have been appropriate. And you would have been dealing with crime, or like in Mississippi burning or something. Um, I'm probably like that, but you can call out to the Fed and to Capital City and psychotic. How psychotic, like whatever was going on. And there was a very bad. There were all those stories from the civil rights era. So untreated crime problems due to civil rights era stuff. Yeah, it seems like untreated crime now. It doesn't seem like there's really much going on. No, it does not. There's no such thing as jurisdiction. This seems like untreated criminals. That appears to be a rough bunch of men doing something googly, not following any law, and they're very aggressive about it. The anthropology that's developing, like, who have we ever heard the police like stalk people? Why would they stalk? You don't openly stalk women. It's just going to be like a big fuss. It's going to cause a big fuss. It always causes a big fuss. If you're a peeping Tom or something, like, you're just going to look silly also. Well, I agree. Your slightly wrong color eyebrows are reassuring. Exactly. Which is sort of like normal. And honestly, the camera's picking up makeup fine, and then I'm not young anymore, so I mean, it's okay. I just look worried, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Just make sure to like not flush the toilet too much or something. It's just like awkward. It's incredibly awkward, but I've been aware of it. I really tied it up, and I'm going to separate everything. It was so bad, and I was going through so much. Well, as soon as they turn it off, it's just like this huge weight. The in progress police ground are actually grounds on your body, and I think almost internally in your body, with like a body scanner, because they have a full body scanner. Police are going to know this. Yeah, check them for wet bandits from Home Alone. And when I swear it grounds on like the liquid in your body or something really weird, really, because it's like electricity. It is nastier than spit. Really, yeah, it is the nastiest thing in the world. Hurts like the Dickens. He was swearing first that I'm being sexually harassed. Uh, oh, I'm sorry, I have a butthole fake mouth. Um, very, very mature. I'm concerned it was shiny too, but Neville said it first. So I was shouting it too. Um, that's them. Oh, and then there's girl on girl action, which they do. Then you could threaten girl on girl action. Oh, so it's a anthropology of like schizoid affective males, I believe, is what's going on. No, you and Alex from high school, only from like Grandpa's engineering department's kid or something. It's not the new leaders of the free world, at least Australia. Uh, all the cream cheese, it was mine. I liked it. All right, Ted. It's a it's a it's a all the computers. with the Antichrist. I don't want to know. Oh, the finger painting with the booze. How does their office look? Horrible. Oh, you need to get out the the special victims unit blacklight on their walls. Really, no. Incredibly bad for so as soon as it goes away. My entire house is covered in tinfoil now. Once as soon as they turned it on, you can tell where as the touching progressed. Apparently, the computer was kind of like, I do that, but I don't know. Oh, I do what now? No, no, no. Oh. I check pockets and I can check the children for being a mule of some sort. Really, the kind of mule having a bomb attached. I would just check them out, but I mean, I don't check them out there. And then he comes running in and says somebody actually developed this. Oh, somebody developed a what is it? He found a guy that was a schizophrenic that developed the worst sex app in the world. Police grounder hooked up to TENS therapy, so he just gotten it from the ER. Apparently he tries and tries and tries and to do something with the scanner, but it doesn't, it's unpleasant, I think. There's more pressure on Google Man Bug slightly, but it doesn't have anything Man Bug. On Google Yellow Man, they literally just follow you around on Google Map Yellow Man because the individual man, the police should know what technology they have access of sexual offending death over here. You should not. No, my mother no longer likes small dude and titties, so I'm not sure. We're Italian again, and then we're part Italian, so is everybody else. Not everybody else. A lot of people are part Italian. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. That man seems like a it seems like an Andalusian mob stopper. That's a hood person that's googly, that runs around and gets into stuff. They might be brought up in an area where just the cultural anthropology. Sometimes people have different cultural anthropologies that are just very different from yours, and they're not. They're in there. Otherwise, they're lying. They might have developed pathologies. It's just like when you're on your Barbie phone talking. Most apparently a lot of us are doing similar things, but there are people that were on their Barbie phone like he said. That's correct. All the other guys' houses running like as a child. You're like a midget. Other people's homes. Different in here in yours. They're just on their Barbie phone helping their dad, they seem like muggles or something. Yeah, they're just helping their dad move ball bearings and have their own lives. They translates okay when you actually pin it down. Not if they're up to something. People would develop acquisitiveness. Oh, this is actually how I get stuff. It's cool to do stuff here. No. Oh, that's how all guys act. You're full of it. Then there's like physical, but I'm not sure what things are. If you have a large population of people, or you have somewhere, because he was going to say something about sexual assaults. There is a juxtaposition between like downtown areas with nightlife, you have to be careful. I think that's why you really should be over 21 and not the youngest guy in the bar. You're 24 and have a loft in the city, then nightlife in New York City or anywhere else is fun. But if you are, I'm not sure most of us have been over 21 for a long time, so it just this is apparently the World War II version, which is absolutely horrifying. Yeah, it's been horrifying through the entire thing. I'm just so glad I'm not being electrocuted right now, to be honest with you. Otherwise, I will just start screaming and it'll be really embarrassing. It looks like you're fighting invisible bats, swearing back at and calling the prosecutor a butthole. Well, much worse than Monica's dress, more or less John Gacy's apron or something. That's really whatever's on John Gacy's walls, which it is here too. Really, yeah. I mean, there's a predatory wasp nest down there, and I don't know what they're daubing with. We know what these guys. The salt is not really, come on, at the expense of children in the shower, me in the shower. Inside out. Well, it just is. That's what's coming out of the speakerphone. Absolutely satanic. I want to know the Beast got a friend. Oh, it's like a different kind. Is it the Futurama robot guy with the sister now? Yep, hangs out with the Joker locally, and they're basically these total schizophrenics, and like, and then also Penguin. He calls Mother Gothel from Rapunzel. Um, then there's some like there's Hogulus from down by Henderson. They were hanging out. Um, Not very nice. You know, and they didn't make Hank and Peggy help. They were very rough around the edges. To me, it seems like it's the jail in Carroll County, Arkansas, but I do think he picked up friends locally. They sort of, whatever Tony Eddowes is doing, when we're calling it in Cary, it needs to calm down. Really, yeah, just the, who are you again? Oh, um, I'm frightened of, no, it sounds like Alzheimer's, when you masturbate. Unfortunately, that, though probably just permission to speak freely, I'll be appropriate. That is what the thing says, which is a absolutely horrifying private act sort of thing, which this thing is a topic coverage of is the most appalling and criminal possible. Literally the most criminal possible. The thing is, too, the stalker always was completely like, well, relevant points. He does, and he mostly just screams and punches the walls on the other side. The fact if he's attached to something that can, like a taser or something, um, and there is such a thing for anybody who doesn't know, widespread use of such a thing. Also, I would not think to make this up. I would think, um, and I'm concerned about the fact that it's fact, retelling it really, almost. But since it's fact, I'm positive. Yeah, I'm absolutely positive. And because I'm absolutely positive, um, no, it's definitely that. I don't actually have any disease or defect. I don't have disease and defect. What you're talking about is not what disease or defect is. Disease or defect is simply um, issues with the body and the brain. So it's going to like really be there. It's more like, guy who had a stroke and guy who didn't really or something like there's, and I don't, okay, so the guy's just going to be handicapped or he's not. Like he's going to be walking or he's going to be in a wheelchair because he can't walk. Pretty much. And I mean, that goes for, the full written psych evaluations and things like that. You need to pin these people down so that this is actually something, doing proper investigation. Everybody's up for inspection and investigation. Um, there's just so many subway tunnels like under. Like, I mean, you must have to inspect everything, just for everything. Like nothing is transparent and accountable for its jobs. We don't want any of that in our country. He doesn't have a country. But I'm shouting at Otis Toole right now, aside, which is embarrassing. I do that because he's incredibly combative. Because technically, they're all incredibly combative. No, I'm not combative. I just don't really have combative. Yeah, I'm sitting in a parking lot at Lowe's, like looking at plants. Um, and Carrie, like you would go to jail for. You need to go to jail. There's no such thing as like an off the grid world where you can right through steal radios, steal electronics out of cars, and then bounce back off to the hood. Okay, which is what you seem to be in mentally. And the law enforcement tech you're on is to catch stuff like that. If there's stuff on every, it could be a conspiracy actually, because unfortunately, look into whoever your tech guy is or how long you've had this stuff, or I mean, if somebody's really recommended it to you, it's like the totally got to have one. And then no, we're here. I'm here. I'm from somewhere, somewhere, and I'm going to put all this stuff up. Okay. Since it appears to be, unfortunately, the thing's a sexual assault device and has been for a million years. Yeah. I'm thinking that as I'm talking about this, because I'm a woman, so and I know other women, this has been a very odd experience for me, but I still kind of just fine with it. Okay, nice meeting you, lady, and things like that. That can happen too as you get a little older. A lot of times, people would get married and then they would have children in my age group, so they'd be interacting with other people. Um, you'd be interacting with the other guy you had like kindergarten with your children and things like that. No. So there's social realities that happen. I feel that I'm in very purposely isolated. Otherwise, I'm actually quite a social person. I'm not like an introvert. I get along fine with people, um, as long as the people, which most people do, have um, appropriate the people you would be in boundaries for. Oh, there's my friend. And we are going to go get some coffee, and then we're going to go shopping, and then we're going to go home, that kind of thing. Uh, separately, and she was going to go back to her house, vice versa. So, oh, good. There's my friend Jill on the phone. Sure, I wouldn't mind going to see that movie. No, that's normal enough too. Oh, I'm going on a date, and he has a friend. You want to go too? Sure. Okay. Well, it's just that's normally people say your area is having like cuckoo issues. There's also something going on where our area, while it didn't have the electronic grounder, it was very sex offending and it really liked to stalk. There is like a don't call it pulse with it. Pulse with it. It's like the brain and there's a great it. Really, it's the brain and the dark planet and the Madeline L. Engel book from Mrs. Taffer's class as kids. It's a good book. There's like it's real hyper focused and schizophrenic. No, I'm being stalked. You're right. I know that guy too. It doesn't make any sense. It's googly. Really, yeah. He's sort of out patrolling. Um, I swear it's the same guy there. Like, and yeah, it's Ahmadinejad's. Not the which Ayatollah was like, no, it's this brain tumor again. Really, I think we're getting like flora and fauna from hell around here. It doesn't make any sense. He's ruling the world. Again, Billy Graham is evangelical, and none of you go to church, and that's just Jesus hour, okay? It's not that exciting. It's kind of slightly cheerful and good natured. Something to talk about when it's not, and it's not like a absolute predatory dictator, right? No, no, Hitler not gonna let anybody else in the parliament. Okay, so it took over. Now what's gonna happen? Okay. Uh, It's extremely. I agree. We have pulse with it. Pulse with it. Ickiest wasp brain to ever exist. But yeah, there is not a pulse with it. There's a pulse with it. No, there's opinions on things, but that really don't make any sense. It's kind of just a lockdown things. It's bad news and trouble. You need to get some accountability. Oh, I'm afraid it's kind of like it, where it's actually a predatory spider. Really. How has it been here? Not a lot going on. It's just kind of hungry. Like we said, like unfortunately, I don't know. It's not funny. Yeah, well, it's just I'm describing symptoms, really. Maybe stuff does happen to the brain where there is a bit more flora and fauna, where there can be criminal realities of stealing or something like that, where uh, poor infrastructure, or it's flora and fauna. I mean, something where it's, I don't know, if a guy mugs you or something, then you don't have money and he does. There's something where like uh, exploitative. It's more or less animal logic too. They might know, but would it come down to like, okay, so resources competition or something can be. Yeah. The thing is, it communicates in flora and fauna. It's like it. It might be time for lovelily pines to like spore a little on all that. I don't know. So he's sporing? Yeah, I think so. I think he's releasing pollen over there on all that. No, it's sexual in nature. Run. What's it doing? I'm not sure. It may want to like, but it might be a predatory animal. It's a little hard to tell. whatever viruses and bacteria spawn with, or reproduce with. Other viruses and bacteria. I think the human race is more or less yum-yums in that thing. And really bad, just completely yum-yums. The sexual behaviors are so incredibly horrendous, incredibly predatory, and then sexual stuff appears to be there are very evil men that are enamored pornography in the most horrendous and explicit ways possible. That's correct. Yeah. Which has been a lot of well, this is why I always turn it off when you're gonna go take a shower. Because 1 second one guy's talking, then like half an hour later, they're naked on the shower. Oh no, I unfortunately I had the satanic ghouls following me. And I made sure to take a shower in the shower where you can't even hear the shower. It's so far away in the house. Because I know that I'm pretty sure like the microphones or the grounding, whatever's going on, is on the Cox box, is in fact like if he says something in the bathroom, you can hear it out here. Really, yeah. He had to really pipe down. My dad was here because my dad would be like, "What the hell was that?" If it was talking in the bedroom. But that's totally inappropriate, really. Well, he says stuff like that. So of course I'm just gonna always turn it off, like in a sitcom, or just staging and whatever. Well, that's how bad it is here, really. Yeah. Except the thing follows you right in the shower because it has a body grounder, and then his mouth on that. And then it actually being able to. It's a very find out what they're using technologically. Ew. Well, I know it's good to be aware of that, and quite obviously that's totally unacceptable. So never shower with the live stream on. It was so bad around here for the last 2 years that anything one gets into. Quite obviously. So, but the perps were so incredibly active for the last they were active yesterday as badly as possible. They don't have that thing turned on. Really, yeah. So I was just leaving it on in the kitchen the entire time because it was so bad. I was hoping they were so active and talking about just child pornography in the worst ways possible. It is what it is. Really, yeah, unbelievable. And unfortunately, their entire troll wars thing is in fact it's just a story about always the troll wars. Troll wars is always just a story about they're going to kidnap these people and they're going to kidnap these people and they're going to kidnap the people they're stalking, that they're interacting with other people in the background, and they're going to keep them as sex slaves and rape them, and they're going to do all these sadistic things to them, and they have this whole world of it. And there's a map. I get Lord and draw the Troll Wars map. He likes to narrate the same things as in different places, but it's all this bizarre sadism and sexual sadism, and women and children are raped. Sometimes men are raped. They basically can do absolutely anything to the people. Very much in schizophrenic, autistic man. If the person is less of a extroverted, schizophrenic, the man is still that's a schizophrenic or an autistic. That's definitely a person that is handicapped in there. And pure evil. Really, yeah, very, very predatory males in this one. But they keep them, it's very fun. They keep them, rape them, they do all this absolutely terrible stuff. He's sexually aroused during this conversation. You're supposed to be too, because you also could be dirty and turned on by stuff that is very explicit, which they'll zap you. He was zapping your crotch, and he was doing it to everybody whenever he would say something that is really inappropriately sexually explicit, including murder. Really, yeah. Which I was I'm a 45-year-old woman, and I'm in a tinfoil house at this point, which you can see actually on the site where the I noticed I wrapped the cell phone in it, but I went for a contained space so I could sleep when it was on because there's just no way that thing. And I was very clear. Look, they figured out some kind of scanner so the thing can touch you when it's doing. It's generating TENS therapy, which is of greatest concern. Oh, okay. Which makes sense if it's an electronic grounder. It can also like vibrate your pants. And then it's just incredibly intrusive, like because you have it'll check out it will check out the body cavities. I don't think it's supposed to touch the body cavities, but it's just supposed to check them out. Somebody sat there and played with that thing too, and it is very evil. Very evil. But it's just the facts. So I mean, and of course, if you're laying fully down, it does work. Okay, well here I can just do okay. Hi there. As opposed to if you're sitting up or standing up or moving around. So the problem, because just laying down, they go into and not moving, it goes into full sexual assault mode. So that's been the problem. It's been quite the problem. Also, their ability to assault you with it, since that is 300 pounds, and it is probably about 300 pounds each individually. Screaming monster, John Wayne Gacy's brain tumor. No, it's more or less its brain tumor. Well, maybe there's a little bit of it in man, whatever. It's a very nasty, like, what the hell are you talking about? It's male. I mean, there is no yay in it. And, it can be quite bisexual, very bisexual. Ooh, very offhand. There's not transgender gay in it. There's like predatory gay. You look old now. Good, I'm 45 years old. Get over it. I look fine. It's just a light, and I don't really care. It's picking up everything. I had to spend all my Botox went in. I look like a painted hooker. Okay, well, I'll work on painted hooker. Paint, on another day. Shouldn't paint, isn't it? I don't think I am exactly. Okay, get up. I don't really care right now. We're just commenting on it. I mean, I don't. This is an odd venue and an odd situation. So you need to check who is. Why are you throwing your weight around? I don't care. The people on probation or the people that have stuff happen around them. You need to listen to whatever they're telling you. You need to calm down and listen. I don't know what googly bounce fest you came from, but there is no googly bounce fest in the legal system. The bouncing is actually, are you bouncing in a direction and bobbing and weaving and jumping and leaping and shouting and screaming? There's no incoherent bobbing, leaping, jumping, screaming. Well, everything is very by the book and by the letter and specific. There is a specific way to handcuff a person who is breaking the law, and then how to make sure we only handcuff the correct person in relation to who is breaking the law. And then just get him down into the courthouse, pop him in a containment cell, pop him in a jail cell, and then get him to a court date so that he's not breaking the law in any way, if he can get bailed out. And because if you're breaking the law in any way, you're not allowed to. Those are the rules. That's all. The court tended to the legal system. That's what the legal system's doing. There's no, what are you doing? There's no such thing as that. The faster you run in the halls, the more likely you are to get in trouble or do something. Okay, which you all very much did something here. All this stuff is very, very bad. You're running around with absolute gobbledygook criminals who were apparently harbored in some places that gets no inspection in Arkansas. And because of that, what's going on over here is like, whoever these guys are is an absolute schizophrenic mess. I mean, why are these men allowed to stalk me? Where are they out of? Did I get followed home by corrections workers? I mean, it's unbelievable. So, because it seems like that these men are very seriously handicapped. The problem is Troll Wars is he then just narrates gang raping you, your family members to death, women and children, especially children, gang raping them to death, performing sexual acts in front of their mothers and them, that kind of stuff, and then raping the mothers, and then they just do stuff like that, and that's what trolls do. Yeah, and then do it. Then he's masturbating, and then he's gonna tap your crotch because you find that hot too. That's what I do to them, and I've done that for years, and that's just so bad. Okay, and not okay, but like, I'm calling all the police, and they need to catch you, and it's a handicap mandate by pornography. Really, yeah. The very schizophrenic, very sexophatic, very heavy breathing phone call mouth that is actually like recognizable as bizarre behavior when there's a no, and there's I've interacted with these guys, but when there's a brain breakage and a body issue, like there's a serious biochemical. I believe he's experiencing a hypersexuality. Very much so. They do. The to say the least. And it's like, is this the same guys? Because you've been playing with yourself like on that thing for a very long time, and then I mean, just running and screaming and leaping. It's like animals over there. Very bad ones. Extremely. I mean, they no sense of shame whatsoever. No sense of right or wrong. I mean, nothing going on whatsoever. Um, Absolutely horrifyingly evil. And just won't stop. You need to get these men into custody and out of uniform on this one. To say the least. How did some? You don't have any inspection where they are. There's absolutely no inspection where they are. Something really strange. They don't have higher authority. And then these guys, wherever they are, there's no inspection. There's nothing going on. They're extremely. That is a one violent, low, schizophrenic, RIP to everything. Their story. Otis Tools, unbelievable. Unbelievable. We can leave them on. They're not there. They made today. So. But that's what's going on in the background here is I'm actually being assaulted. In the story that actually, like in Ed Gein's Poldark, which means he's very into his, like, he's into it like the English Patient. Yeah. Here's just supposed to kind of like the English Patient or the Notebook. Well, he won't leave me alone for like a second. He follows me around to just monopolize my day, which sounds very like, but it's just sort of I'm being stalked so badly. I try to ignore them, but you're literally with the ability to physically assault you. He also like you're just fighting it all the time. Oh, maybe acquisitively eating things and taking over through manipulation and some kind of patterns that they have and do out of organized crime. They're aware of it. Somebody's aware of it. Somebody's actually doing it because it's all the same everywhere. If it's all the same in all of the offices, there's no such thing as that. I don't know what all that is. They've been around for a while, obviously. So if you call all the offices for the court system and like the same employee picks up the phone and says jurisdiction. I get that. They say I'd like to help. I don't know what that means. Probably means it's organized crime, but I don't know where it's organized or disorganized. It seems very organized if it's all the same office. Also, you appear to be a dictatorship of centralized if you're all doing the same thing. You can get a driver's license photo and a background check on whether or not this is the actual victim in my case that I'm being interacted with by the United States of America's legal system, because I did this supposedly and this to those two who are, and I'm saying this is all falsified and I was kidnapped by a schizophrenic man. And we got really mugged and we're still getting really mugged. And then I'm really getting sexually assaulted or sexually stalked by a very, very schizophrenic man. He calls over to the local police, and because you said this is cuckoo's jurisdiction, like Albert Fish called on the phone, and you people just, and then Guerrilla Goon Squad from the hood, and literally it's like satanic baboons. Well, it just is, and they're evil. They're satanic. You're very, very incoherent. You also seem very low class. They seem like car radio thieves, car electronics thieves. Yeah, there was some kind of like Jackie Chan movie where he's a Monkey King or something. You had to fight these satanic baboon guys that were actually like they could get into human bodies. They're demons. Yeah, but like mega demons or something. Buffy demons. Asian demons. Which are actually like a dude to fight. No, those were originally satanic baboons. Really, that's what that like. If we're doing a like anthropology of, so I agree. Those are actually satanic baboons. They're not actually. They were never people. I'm with Neville. Really, yeah. They're like kappa or ogres or trolls or something. Just other stuff, other animals we share the world with. Sometimes and then, but those ones went bad. The Incredible. What are you auditioning for the sex kidnapper in really bad behavior? I mean, this would be the roughest man ever, really. You know, on those in Arkansas. I mean, you got to be kidding me. They're also all extremely schizoid or schizophrenic or something. There's not been, no, there's no argument in this. They're extremely diseased or defected in the head. Uh, the what is doing what in the Cary police station is correct. There's like a guerrilla goon squad that seems like it's from Capitol Boulevard in Millbrook with some looks like the heating and air conditioning repairman of some sort. Also, and they just run around. They really act up. Yeah, they have like personality disorder, like cycles and stuff. Which okay, you just act up. Yeah, I had actually like the interactions described. Yeah, somebody is quite the characters down there, which is no, and in nefarious characters. That's correct. The guy that somebody knows that's going to do a break-in. Oh, yeah, very much. They're very very strange. You need to have higher authority. Could be a conspiracy even. Um, the pole park I'm concerned with. It came in his story, the fantasy novel that he's very into. Um, well, Tom Hanks in Castaway. Yeah, which is strange for I'm 45 years old for a beautiful woman who's no, I'm completely nice and normal. I've been stalked 24/7 by the men that did this. Uh, no, just in the actual applications, I like the guy uses the ability to mirror your internet account and your cell phone account, which apparently police have, which you can see that, but that should not be getting out. The court is too corrupt, and it's very very dangerous. And this is too dangerous and too corrupt. We're America. We're on. Don't do the crime, and then quite obviously this guy gives two hoots to the wind about losing his job. You can't break the law and still be like the Teamsters. You lose your job if you steal something. It's like or something. You can't be a Teamster anymore. Um, but I'm attractive, nice woman that well, it's respectable. Oh, we're getting checked out in McCarthy era. Why are you single and not in a more normal home life? A little your people. And it's normal. Castaway. Years. Normal. Well, that's true. If I were gay or something, I'd be a respectable one people like. They'd have a reason to be there. um, children, either I had a child and I would be respectful of people I liked. Um, probably, my mother probably would have been more active in golf from horseback or something. I, I made the golf from horseback team like 13. The best to just hugging the pony and riding the pony after me. or I would have gotten a degree in golf and horseback. Like I'm a respectable person. My brain's coherent. I was raised to not hurt others, not break the law in any way. Crime doesn't pay. You will get caught. Um, and I've done everything to get these guys caught. As far as like conversations with, I notice it's the same guys in Carroll County. Then the whole thing is nonsense. I'm just talking to the schizophrenic man that did this. Ser- who I think that was the problem. They had, I'm apparently they're just a mad schizophrenic party, and they're actually doing anything criminal possible. So that's great when there's an inspection. Somebody please go and print down my perp, since this is going to start with the electrocution and Walsh and shouting, man to me, in about as soon as I think they got a nap. Also, haven't really. Well, it is. No, it's always been that. No, I said that. I got a guy that argues the case that stalks me on my cell phone, and then always what comes out again is BP. And it's his BP. No, that's don't while this is going on. Like if you are live streaming your kitchen, which I was all the way over here. Like I kind of know you walked over there. Really. Yeah, and then there was like heard a shower noise or a bathroom noise or something like that. However my social boundaries are just fine for, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna use the bathroom or something like that. It's no, my social boundaries are appropriate and fine. But while leaving it on live stream in your kitchen, no, we just know there's people's in showers when we think about it. Yeah, they're not appropriate. It might be very awkward since people don't usually like your family members. Really, yeah. Oh, that's definitely a very private situation. Um, but I had the live stream on in the kitchen. I'm stressed about it. It was so in progress. Really, like I was just dying and dying. I made sure there was no way you could hear anything from that. I didn't think you could hear the shower because I was watching it a little bit and I was like, okay, I just give up. I'm gonna have to record this. And I mean, you could barely hear from over here. You can hear what I'm saying when I got over there. It's like nothing. So I was in a totally different part of the house. But it's just now that I think catching it enough, they should be in custody already. It was all day and night, just absolute schizophrenic giant monkey scream out. Really, yeah. And it is. Hopefully, it'll be over. It's unbelievable what things, brain and body. The brain is not doing anything in all that. No, it's not. And then I mean, oh my God, is it openly sex offending? They'll sex offend in front of absolutely anyone and anything. I kept saying there must not be anybody around where you are. Really, yeah. Oh, because they'll like make up these different Dennis Radar characters. People go along with them with this jurisdiction stuff, and the malice and intent of going along, they must not like you. There's not anything I'm doing. The only interaction you would have had with me where I would have been something like the something at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, because 2 o'clock in the morning is the same as 2 in the afternoon on these guys. They're real weird dead of night characters. Like somebody has employed men that work all night, and they get into this out of these offices somewhere. So, I'm gonna leave it on because it's just kind of having a little interval. I'll be back, or somebody because they haven't caught him. I can tee hee hee still over there. Did you? There's nothing. Oh, did you hear what they were doing? What I said is that it's okay. So that means there's a very very upset family because there's no way you could stand it. All of a sudden, somebody is literally like electrocuting you to death. Really? Oh, I mean, it's extremely painful. Also, TENS therapy. Yeah, the whole thing is just extreme. Go get the tech they're using and use it on yourself and see how it is. Or see what it is and see why I'm flipping out. And apparently, so is everybody else. So you're a child or a woman or anything else. They're keeping people in there. The troll wars is just the most violent thing in the world. Really, yeah, it's just trash compactor human. And incredible abuse, and then it's fun to sexually torture them. And then I'm going to talk about putting them in body dissolver while they're still alive, while I rape them. Always rape the gooch, rape the gooch, rape the gooch. Every other thing out of so you have to make. One the hell did no, I'm positive. My Alexa has like the worst Ed Gein things in jars potty mouth to ever happen. My Cox account does. It's got the same guys from all throughout with them for sure. It's the same men, so, and it's the same men in Carroll County, Arkansas. They refer to things where I have every right to keep doing this there. So there'd be children leaping 4 feet up in the air, running, screaming, sobbing. Apparently, they chase them around all day and night, same as they do me. Attack them in their. If they have a cell phone with them, they can attack you. They can track you a bit, I think, if you don't have a cell phone, because why does this guy have absolute free pass to all law enforcement tech that they would use? Because yeah, it's the same as anywhere. Like, do they arrest you? It's the same as the guy that's the crazy man and with the disease or defect that is like the domestic violence cycles that do really strange things, or other criminal cycles. Once the guy doing all that for whatever star alignment uh, is removed from the situation, the crime is stopped and it's a normal day again. But okay, so we're gonna put this back going. Why I'm not? They always say, just stop doing what you're doing, and yeah, you're getting these are very like pure forms of disease or defect, really, and it is like domestic violence disease or defect. Why the cycle? You're reporting him. Stop molesting children while you're doing it. Really? Yeah. I mean, there's no. I mean, it's complete flora and fauna over there, and it's big and it's hungry. It's big, incredibly dangerous predator. Well, it's just the most horrifying and then sexually abusive stories. And then you actually would like attack your zap you in the crotch with the thing while he's telling some story about like raping a woman and then throwing her in the trash compactor and then raping her kids and keeping them as slaves. And then you're like right in the room with them. Okay. Because you're right in the room with them. Who is them? They're the kidnappers and the guards in it. But the extreme sexual nature of it, really, yeah. And this, you would tell this conspiracy theory. I would tell a conspiracy story, and like my brain would make up a conspiracy story. It would not make up that conspiracy story ever, or whatever. I mean, I'm not sure. Nobody's ever done all that. If that happened, then like people died in the worst. And it was actually a progression of events from letting the men that were like wet bandits who have the behavior, uh, they case the joint as much as they did because they figured out since they were already running around public works, oh, there's like abandoned. So they got knowledge, that thing where like, yeah, was it blow? You get an education in prison because that's where like people with organized crime go. They're not supposed to be in my jail. Okay, well, we could break that up. Oh, certainly. They, but, oh, what do you call it? So somebody noticed that there this was just here. There was already like cultures leading into it. The so these guys that were actually just sort of like Tom and Gacy, or yeah, that were actually he was watching Netflix serial killers. He's definitely the genuine article. So are his friends as far as just giant screaming histrionic, extremely explicit schizophrenic offenders. I mean, they just don't stop, can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. Uh, they're apparently their bodies just and brains are a screaming brain tumor. Um, Unbelievable amounts of stalking. Um, but um, keeping sex slaves a lot and just forcing them to do anything and then just basically you're just snuff pornography. You're killing them with man, woman, and child, women and children, uh, little boys. Yeah, and I keep them in my pets and okay. You did get that from all that, didn't you? Oh, that's what Troll Wars is. Troll Wars is Ed Gein kidnaps you, and then he kidnaps your family, and he has a network. work is actually like um, water treatment, the facilities that are abandoned that somebody back in the day figured out that they can actually use as like a fort for this, and very much does and do. It's still like a semi-open, or they just have a company of this or whatever. Well, that could be a real thing. Oh, what problem is what it is sort of like all it is a fulfilled like consummation. Then they could do that to her, and you murder the families after stalking them, and the gang rape, home invasion part, and the rape part, and the sexual like the neighborhood pornography part is a very forward like Ted Bundy's brain tumor over there. Very much like children, like Otis Toole too, very interested and inquisitive about boys' bodies with rape, everything else, and sexuality. The thing trying to masturbate people with is what he calls it to cause orgasms in people because he's interested in doing it very much so to everybody. It's very he won't let the thing they're in some kind of hyper schizophrenic tweaker state. Really, I mean, it's an absolute all to them. I think they must be on meth, but they were like going to follow the same people around, never turn it off on them, and just molest them to death. Like always have somebody sexually assaulting them with the Empire Police Grounder because that's how fun that is. Tee hee hee, and I can see them on the toilet with this. And I couldn't. You couldn't keep the. It must be a person on a schizophrenic person in a completely altered state, and they also, I believe, are getting into drugs like meth, and they said Demerol, which is a bad mix, which I think is like morphine. They might give it to them. Wherever they are, that they're able to get away with this, or that for some reason they are, wherever they are, that they have access. Why would they be able to be on police? Somebody has like told them that it's their case and that it's important they continue to follow me. Also, they intervene. Like if they call and they ask about it, they say, "Oh, don't take her seriously." People have observed these guys doing things, and they um, have reported them and they intervene. Apparently, the behaviors of the court legitimize. They are actually working with actual government employed and things that does in fact because in their behavior they've condoned their behavior. So and they tell they pick up other people that they're that share their views or something. That it's weird that nobody. I said there must not be anybody around where you are because good lord, nothing in their right mind whatsoever would, which law enforcement hiring usually going to be, would have anything to do with you. I mean, you're going to be like a rarefied. You could find a reasonably big. If you found, you could get 35 people doing what you're doing, really, which I think might have been the case because I think you then gave out the link to 35 other completely schizophrenic hyper cuckoo men on drugs that probably are house painters or something. They want to sexually assault children. Apparently, you have access to law enforcement tech. That is a problem. And you put some kind of grounder in my house. Probably you say it's in the attic now. I'm not sure. It is just in fact the case, and somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, okay, so why am I dealing with a 500-pound schizophrenic monkey of death and his friends? He's the most schizophrenic man to ever, and the most evil. I mean, incredible bad language out of them. Well, it was a lot of N word. You're just schizophrenic, probably. That's probably on your clothes, really. Apparently, he sits on the floor and shouts, "Come on," was his last. For this one, oh, what Neville progression of words out of the heavy breathing phone call Alexa on my Cox account. This one has been the Dr. Bruce Luth word for the lady, unfortunately, genitalia, which is like anatomical. Apparently, there's some, just plumbing. He's very unusual with the. What do you mean he's very unusual? Just, oh my God. That's correct. Really, yeah, that's not been scary. Um, there's a what is the word? CLITIRUS. This one he's been shouting at 24/7. Oh. That one's come out of the Alexa a lot. That's his new. Oh, the last 4 months. Before that, it was come on because he was sitting on the floor masturbating. See, and his semen worm out of Neville. His Neville's mine's anus. Mine's anus. Uh, it's a mind's anus if you try to like voodoo him or something, really, or you try to fight back or whatever. It is a mind's butthole. Mind's anus. And he was stiffy, and if you like try to fight him off on the thing, you're using your magical mind's anus powers. You're trying to curse him like a witch, which means nothing. I mean, that is absolute word soup and solid. It's amazing he still repeats it, or he says it even, and like that's a nasty explicit word. Then it was CUMWAD. He said themin constantly, themin. Incredibly violently, he constantly is trying to masturbate his victims with a in-progress police grounder and a TENS therapy device. It is the demon of death. He's a very evil man, and he is trying to he's sexually assaulting children. I'm sure I said that there must be kids sleeping 3 feet up in the air, and their mothers calling the police around wherever these men are. You need to catch them and figure out what it is. Juicy booterus, no, not booter, gut is a universal word. Whenever a booter, or cooter, or hooter is in only ones. An extremely disgusting schizophrenic word. Oh yeah, completely, absolutely disgusting crackhead schizophrenic man. His conspiracy theory is just where you get to take them and gang rape them as a dungeon master, and there's nothing they can do. There's no call out line, phone line's cut, and to say the phone line cut would not go okay. The phone line cut is not okay, especially when the guy next to you starts doing anything like this. So there's people's parents calling. Oh, for sure. There's no doubt whatsoever. There's not going to be families calling on this one. Right? Yeah. I mean, just as it is. So I'm saying, oh, okay. Not okay. I'm calling the police. That's a man with a very bad brain tumor and very bad pressure in his reproductive parts of his body, who appears to be experiencing extreme aggression, probably substance use, like with methamphetamine, and morphine makes sense too. Maybe cocaine. There's one big histrionic party over there. It's very angry, very pressurized. I think he's going through drug withdrawals. So he's so incredibly punch. Okay, vicious. I'm not sure, but the things the absolute entitlement to do absolutely anything. Really, that no matter what law is broken, apparently there's people around that they don't arrest them, which is unbelievable. They apparently people supposedly the police will not arrest these guys, which I don't believe anybody can possibly be around where these guys are. So you're saying you got inaudible noise talking to you. It's definitely real. Definitely real. And there's no doubt whatsoever. It's not definitely real. Are you sure? Yeah. That's just a sex offender. It's a heavy breather sex offender. I'm trying to fix your hair. Well, like I said, it's just I think it's going to start up again. Oh. Go nowhere exactly. No. So since I talked for an hour and a half, you're right. The troll wars are. What is happening to the people in troll wars? They're incredibly violently kidnapped and raped and murdered, and it as sadism for extreme just rape sadism, sexual sadism. Unbelievable.
really, really bad pornography. Lots of kids are wanting to focus. It's unbelievable. No, I'm positive. It's not my brain dimmer. I don't have a brain dimmer, right? No, it's what it is. It's actual people. I mean,
That's where we're meant to go. Go back to the curve. Walk down the open road. One thing I know for certain. That's where the journey
oh crap. Oh, for heaven's sake. I had the ultrasonic jammer on in the other room. Okay, well, the best laid plans.
Let's see how much of this it caught, because that's annoying. Well, okay, so I'm going to end the stream now, and then I'm going to see how much it caught, even though I just figured out my ultrasonic jammer was on in the other room, because I meant to turn it off so I wouldn't do that. But I was sure I would, and then I forgot, because it's so nice to have it back on, because it discourages them a little bit. If it's not on, they like just go nuts. They can get past it because they're on law enforcement tech. They can just jump to different like frequencies, and they have like bandwidths and stuff, and like cell phones, frequencies or whatever you'd call them. They have them that are, law enforcement has access to, so that they're able to do this. That's correct, and you really need to get these guys into custody now. So they'll just jump to another one that gets around stuff, and if you block them because they have access. No, it's the facts. No. I don't even know that they don't even know what I do in here. You need to get these men into custody now.